Let's do this fucking shit.
What's up, everybody? We are live. Another episode, sitting ringside. Episode 285,000.
Yeah. No. Welcome everybody to the show. It is International Fight Week, and we don't have our international brother Roberto Villa because he's stuck in traffic, but he will be joining us shortly. Thank you everybody for joining us. Like Rudy said, this is episode number 179. We got a great show tonight. Our boy across the pond, Emmett Glenn, also will be joining us doing some picks and predictions for UFC 290. We'll be recapping Abus Magomedov, Sean Strickland, UFC event last week. I'm going to try to do my best, Roberto, start the show off proper. There is
5,000.
a couple events happening this weekend. LFA was at 162 starting on Friday. I believe there's PFL Europe, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Listening a little bit about that with Dan Hardy. I borrowed Dan Hardy's glasses for this episode. So, but yeah, it's always, a great time here at Sitting Ringside. We will be breaking down the fights later portion of the show. Eventually, Berto will get on and jump on with us and talk some shit. So, glad to be on another Thursday night. So, yeah, man, let's get right to it. I mean, we did have an event last weekend, UFC Apex. I don't know, man. Like, it was starting off to be like one of the better fight night cards that we've seen in a while. I know Rudy had it scored like a 9 at the middle portion of the main card, Rudy, and then it goes south for you, bro.
Not really, bro. Maybe just one fight on the main card, and it wasn't even that bad. I thought it was badass, man. I gave this card a freaking 9. I thought it was an excellent card. It could have been a 10, but it wasn't.
Yeah, well, we kind of lost out on a couple good fights too. Like, I mean, there was a lot of last-minute replacements. Like, I guess if we all bet the house on Alves Brenner, we all would be rich, right? Because that was ridiculous. And I think Jordan Leavitt was scheduled to fight Alves. Like, he would have got butchered. Right, by Brennan.
Honestly, bro, for me, I think this card, the prelims were a little more boring. We had a sleeper with Romanov versus Ivanov.
Yeah.
Petrovic versus Carolina. That fight sucked. Yana Santos versus Carol Rosa. Those 3 fights really sucked for me. But Kutaladze, Brito, Fakhreddin, all of those are killer. That made that whole prelims freaking amazing, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole card was badass, except for those 3 boring ass fights.
Yeah, because the Brito fight, like he was another big underdog too, right, Brito? So if you had your money on it, Brenner, Brito on the Brazilian side, like he probably came out with some good coin because, yeah, man, like they showed out and sort of mismatches there because, like I said, I think Kutaladze was actually supposed to fight Jordan Leavitt. And Jordan Leavitt would have just got totally annihilated, right?
He would have gotten destroyed, bro. He would have gotten destroyed. The Monkey King, right? Is that what he calls himself?
Yeah, the fucking monkey god. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's starting out the card with heavyweights. I mean, I forget how good Alexander Romanov is. Like, he has a great record, and like they just slated him just right out the gate, a heavyweight fight as the first fight of the night, which is strange. UFC doesn't tend to do that. It's usually, I guess, on the main portion of the card. But, yeah, I think Ivanov, I don't know, he might have punched his ticket to PFL in a loss, right?
Or back to Bellator, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's where he started. You know what I mean? That's where he started, so.
Well, I guarantee you, wherever he goes, they're going to talk about him getting stabbed in the heart.
Of course. That's the big thing.
That's like his thing, bro. That's like his thing.
Yeah, it is. That's his thing. But that was disappointing, though. You know what I mean?
No, the fight. It was. I mean, as boring as it was, Romanov just he just had his way, bro. If that guy really, and he didn't even look like he was fit, you know. That's not the best we've ever seen Romanov.
No.
He seemed really, really heavy, bro. And I thought that was going to be a problem, and it obviously wasn't, man. He went 3 full hard rounds and did a lot of good ground and pound, and that's definitely a guy that you got to keep an eye out for again.
Yeah, because like you said, the body or his condition. I mean, he did have some great cardio, and then like I guess he had a lot of things not going right for him outside the cage, so he kind of got to put it together. Even though I was not a guy to just easily, just get out of there, get out of the cage, and especially in a small cage too, as far as heavyweights. So yeah, starting the card off with that, and then it just kept delivering. You know what I mean? Like the one snoozer fight of the night, I guess. I don't know. I'm not hating on the ladies, but the Viana Carolina fight, and then I guess Cara Rosa Santos. Santos is kind of on that somewhat chopping block, I think, too. Like she was on somewhat of a little streak, but she's like a win-loss, and I think that's like what her second loss in a row.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, third loss, but she's fought Holly Holm. She's fought Aldana, so she fought the top contenders. So
yeah,
we'll see. I have a feeling though she's on the chopping block. We always call that stuff pretty well on here, but the fight that everybody I don't know. Kevin Lee coming back. He said he didn't like being on the prelims.
Fakhretdinov.
Fakhretdinov, that's how you say his name. Okay, yeah, he went in there, and I think him and Kutateladze had a war not long ago.
Yep.
Kevin Lee went in there, and he just had nothing for him. I didn't see the fight going that way, but Jesus, man, was Kevin Lee just not ready for that fight.
Yeah, and he had converted to Islam just for this fight, and after that beating, he converted back to Christianity. From what I'm told, Mark told me that.
I didn't say shit.
I didn't think it was very funny, but apparently he thinks
no. It's funny. I wanted Kevin Lee to lose, but holy shit, did he ever lose? Like, goddamn.
I didn't want him to lose. I just knew he was.
Yeah.
His last fight against Diego Sanchez, bro. It was a decision, right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, Diego made it a dog fight too, and he was like a one-legged man out there too, out of shape, and then that's when Kevin Lee suffered an injury. But Diego, man, it does not matter. Like he could come in there in shape, out of shape, and still make it a dog fight. And that was the last time we seen Kevin Lee coming back in straight into the mix against a killer, and kind of seen it in the walkouts. Like as I seen him walking out, Fakhretdinov is just no joke, man. And I mean, very bad matchup for him to come back in. Like I know he wanted to come back and make a statement, but he made a statement on the wrong side.
Bro, what really set the tone for this event was the Kutateladze Elvis Brenner fight. Kutateladze, he was fucking him up, landed a killer elbow that just cut this dude open. He walked out with white hair. He walked in with white hair and walked out with red hair, like my freaking cap. And it was an awesome fight, dude, because he was getting his ass handed to him. And he turned that shit around, and that for me, that was fight of the night, and it did win fight of the night. Hats off to Elvis Brenner. That was one hell of a performance. Kutateladze just looked like he couldn't believe what just happened. Elvis Brenner is one bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he caught him with just like a short shot too. He was winning the fight. I mean, had it gone to the judges, of course, he would have probably won like a 29-28. Maybe on all cards, maybe even like a 30-27. But yeah, I stepped away into like the restroom and turned around and seen that he was out. I couldn't believe it, but I was like, that dude was one of the biggest underdogs on the card, along with Brito. So like I said, if you had some money on the Brazilians, should have bet the farm.
Someone bet on them and made some money that night.
Yeah, Brito was good money. That was awesome, dude. He's brutal, man. Weston Wilson didn't have anything for him. Yeah, I was just like, who is this? Who is this tall fucking Damian Maia looking motherfucker?
No, he's an absolute. If that's another killer, up and coming guy that's got like 40 fights under his belt, and finally got the opportunity to fight in the UFC. Very humble, very happy in victory, and once I seen the guy just walking out, like this is one of those nights where paid a lot of attention to the walkouts and kind of gauge where the fight's going to go. I had a feeling Bruno Ferreira had no shot in this fight, and I did pick Neuralston in it, and I think this is a showcase fight for him. He kicked off the main card. It was a night of Mavs, Govs, Slavs, except for the main event.
And one
But,
Frenchie.
Except Ivanov.
Benoit Saint Denis, man,
Yeah.
that was a badass fight.
Mhm.
You know, he
Yeah.
man, he just shut down Ismael Bonfim.
I doubted him, and he
too.
shut me up.
Yeah, me too, bro. That's one guy people need to watch out for. He's a bad motherfucker. And then the Ariane Lipsky Gatto fight, that was kind of a snoozer.
Wasn't what I expected. It's like, come on. But Lipsky, got the win, so helped my Tapology, but my Tapology was still shit that night. I didn't place. Rudy placed third at least.
And then we had Max Griffin.
All kinds of shit too.
Max Griffin and Michael Morales.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a great fight, bro. Michael Morales, he was really tested in this fight. Hats off to Max Griffin. He had a chance to actually win this fight. But
did.
Morales, picked it up in the third round, and it was a great fight. I liked that fight. Even though it was a decision, went to a decision, it was fun, man. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, Michael Morales, he needed that fight too. He's going to need more grinder matchups, but you talk about a grinder and a guy that's a finisher and Max Griffin, and Michael would have put it on him, man. He hit him with heavy shots. Griffin, credit to him. He could take a shot, man, and hang in there and make it a dogfight. But Morales,
it's a good notch in his belt over Griffin. Like, that's a good notch in his belt over someone like Griffin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Morales.
He's been around for a minute.
All these guys that won basically were like the new breed, showcasing their talent, and Morales is definitely one of them. And I've been high on that kid for a while. After the Max Griffin win, the sky's the limit, man. They're going to give him big names. He's going to fight the top guys soon, very soon. So, a guy who is indeed a low-key killer and probably could get a title shot soon, I guess. Can't hate on the guy anymore. Grant Dawson just keeps making easy work of everybody. And Ismagulov, he's
that
kind of
one
like
just shut me right up.
Yeah, Grant Dawson always I always pick against him, bro, and I'm not doing that again.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I pick Grant Dawson a lot, but I've gone against him, a couple times, and I went against him this past time, but not anymore. Nah. I don't care who he's fighting.
In a division loaded with killers, you know what I mean? He's right there. Like, he could chisel his name in against the very top talent. And like I said, Ismagulov's a guy, he's like a Shavkat, of the 55 division. Not a guy to easily, he just got dominated, man. Like, Grant Dawson just took him down, did whatever he wanted, made it look easy, and then in the post-fight said, that's not his top performance, you know what I mean? So the guy made easy work of a very top contender too, and a rising star killer. Yeah, man, I'm very high on Grant Dawson. Fuck around, fight him. It's not going to be an easy one, and he might even fuck around and get a title shot.
I could see it by the end of the year, early next year, maybe.
Yeah, if he wins one more good. I mean, he was on the co-main event here, so I mean, at the top of the
co-main event spot. So
yeah, he's a fight night main event guy from here on out until he actually
give him a fight night main event by about November-ish, December.
Yeah, I think he does want to get back in there. Maybe he fights. Maybe
Brock Lesnar,
the Sydney card or something like that. You know what I mean? Give him a good fight on the Sydney card. So, but the main event of the evening.
Wow.
What would we do without Sean Strickland on the UFC roster? Like, the guy just keeps delivering inside the cage, on the mic, on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys heard the podcast, but
not yet.
Sean Strickland for fucking president. You know what I mean? 2024. But we can kind of see why he took the fight. I mean, Abus, the UFC was trying to showcase, roll him out there, and Sean Strickland straight up said, he's like, the money was right. It was straight pay. It wasn't, the show and win shit. I think he got a pretty good $800,000 or something like that to fight Abus.
Nice.
We know Abus didn't get paid shit. He probably got paid like $100,000 or something. But I mean, the UFC wanted this guy maybe as a new name, new blood at middleweight, and he had to run into the buzzsaw that's Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland looked like he improved on the stand-up, man. Different technique. He looked like he was going for the kill early, kind of pulled back, picked his shots, went in for the kill, and actually put him away. And it looked pretty goddamn easy, right?
Yeah,
he made it look very easy. Like, he looked really good.
Yeah, and you guys haven't heard the Joe Rogan podcast with him? It's a must hear. And Yeah, because the post fight. Well, honestly, we'll get to UFC 290, but I don't know if you guys all listen or watch the UFC 290 presser. I mean, what a fucking lame ass whack presser with like the same old bullshit questions. Like it's basically like the UFC like fanboy. They need to have.
I have a question. I have a question for the two Mexican champions. How much will it mean to you to win this fight on Saturday night?
Yeah. That's what it was. And I think there was like another numbnut there that referred to, what's his name? The guy fighting, he said Necro Price. He's like, I have a question for Necro Price.
What?
So it's like, no. Yeah, so.
At least learn how to say his freaking name right. Jesus Christ.
It got bad.
What are you trying to imply? Are you implying that he sleeps with the dead?
Exactly.
No, it was just a bunch of starstruck, like UFC fanboys, and then the usual fucking faces that we all hear. I mean, what I'm getting to is all we needed is Sean. We needed Sean Strickland to come out the back, slap them all beside side of the head, take the mic, and say, "All you fucking pussies, you need to ask some real questions, right, Rudy?" Or
all you pussies, I'll tell you what, you need to ask some real fucking questions here because this is all dumb.
Yeah. And his post-fight press conference was better than this entire UFC 290 presser. I think we could say, right, Rudy? Like,
yeah, man. Sean Strickland, he's fun to listen to.
Yeah, we do need more people in the world that are like Sean Strickland. So
he reminds me of Tim Kennedy almost for some reason. Like
what?
Tim Kennedy used to just say some like outlandish shit sometimes.
Yeah,
but that was a good win for Strickland, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a really good win for him. Keeps him in the talk for, top contenders. So it's like,
yeah, no, that's what I was
like, son of a bitch.
What do they do though? Because I know everything's riding on the Dracus Duplessis and Whitaker fight. Like, if somebody comes out unscathed, maybe Whitaker stunts him. He might in fact fight Izzy again, or what do you guys think? They could just give. I think Strickland could get a shot. Like, I mean, they say it's a dog fight. Like, that's a quick turnaround. Strickland's down. You know what I mean? He'll take that fight. And then I think there's probably some pretty chippy shit that will go on with him and Izzy. You know what I mean? Because that's genuine. Like, they do not like each other. And
that shit talk would be great between Strickland and Izzy. I would love that.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, depending on what takes place this weekend, DDP, Whitaker, I don't know if the UFC wants to do Whitaker, Izzy again in Sydney. I don't know, but it's very proper, that Izzy does defend there. Well, I guess if it's Strickland, yeah, USA, Australia, whatever. Like, it'll be a cool rivalry, and Sean Strickland may go out there and spark him out. Who knows? Crazier shit has happened. Who knows? But yeah, overall, the event, though, I don't know. It ended up being like a 7 for me. It was 12 fights. The main card delivered. There was some good action on the prelims. So I don't know what you guys graded it, Mark. Like, what'd you have it at?
I gave it about an 8.5-ish.
No, there's no halves, bro. There's no halves.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll give it a 9 then.
One of the better fight night cards you've seen in a while, like hashtag UFC Austin, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So it's kind of hard to top UFC Austin, straight up. But that was, the event itself, I mean, at the Apex, I mean, we need Sean Strickland in a full crowd at a presser like today, talking shit and calling everybody out at the media. But didn't you hear it, Rudy, when he called out, I believe he was referring to Morgan, like he was like, hey, the Portion guy, or the guy, the merchant on Star Wars?
Yeah.
They're trying to steal the droid. I think he was referring to John Morgan, but like, that's so awesome that he just like doesn't know any of the media's name. He's like, hey, this guy, he looks like fucking, you know what I mean? So he's amazing, man. Like, we need more Sean Strickland press conferences, even though if he's not fighting, just have him out there, right?
Sean Strickland for president and vice president
and prime minister of Canada.
There you go. Just president of North America.
Or like somehow he's got to be involved with like the Elon Musk and the Zuckerberg thing or something. You know what I mean? But
referee, you have to be the ref for that fight.
But we will get to that too as well. In the we can actually get to it right now because I don't see Rob. He better be getting close to his casa because we need our international primo to join us to do the UFC 290 picks and predictions. So Rudy,
let's do some outside
the cage news.
Once again, outside the cage news. Sometimes, most of the time, a lot of times more interesting than what happens in the cage. We'll start this off by what had happened last night. the interaction of the GOAT and Israel Adesanya. Apparently they're best of homies now. I don't know. Did you guys see that one coming?
No.
Yes.
I didn't see it coming.
I did. I mean, they're two of the best, bro. They're two of the best. I mean, they are the best. You know, they are the best, and they have similar personalities. It's just a matter of time. They hang out with each other. You know, they're gonna hit it off, bro, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. And it's International Fight Week. Like pretty sure you're gonna bump in just about everybody, and it could have been a fight in the middle of a casino, but it ended up being a little sparring match, a little TikTok, whatever they did to put that out there. And
it was a tickle fight, bro.
Pretty cool interaction though. But if he comes to Albuquerque, that's no bueno. But then again, at the same time, it's John Jones in Vegas. We don't know what the fuck could happen this weekend, right? Like, that's pyramids in its own. But yeah,
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, well,
unless
Jones
you get caught on video.
That's true.
Well, Jones has a pretty good track record of shit like that going south for him in Vegas. So praying for you, Johnny. Don't do anything stupid this weekend. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, like Rudy said, they're two of the best, man. You know, so fucking A. Like, there was talks of them fighting like years ago. Like, the time has passed. Maybe it could happen at 205, but it's definitely not happening now with Jones at heavyweight. And he's basically 1 foot out the door. Has really nothing left to prove. He's got one more fight with Stipe, which he said, and then off to whatever, being the mayor of Albuquerque. Who knows, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But continuing with outside the cage news, you guys heard about Henry Cejudo's withdrawal, right, from the card?
Yeah.
Like he's done, right? Do you guys think he's not coming back, right? Or
I think he's coming back.
I think so too. Because you know what? I think he missed it, and that's why he came back in the first place. And I think he just misses the competition. He's a competitor, so he just wants to compete.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. I mean, against Aljo, but you know, given the 3-year layoff and that, like, he didn't seem like the sport like passed him by completely. Like, he was competitive. Aljo is just on a different level, man. Like, I mean, he's fighting somebody. What did he say? "Quote unquote," fighting against his will against Sean O'Malley in August. So that's kind of that's some fuckery going on with that matchup. So I don't know. I won't believe that fight is happening until it actually happens. As far as Henry Cejudo, maybe by the end of the year, but according to Sean O'Malley or on his podcast, they were talking a lot of shit saying he's done. So I don't know. I would like to see that matchup. I mean, Henry against anybody is a pretty damn good fight and a high level matchup. So, but yeah, man. So that card is that UFC Boston card. So we lost that bout, but Chito Vera's got a matchup, and I think the Corey Sandhagen Nurmagomedov, that has been coined as the #1 contender fight. So whoever wins that fight pretty much deserve. I mean, yeah, especially Sandhagen, man. Like, Sandhagen's a fucking straight killer at 135, and he's taking a guy on that's unranked, right? Is Magomedov ranked?
I don't believe so.
Or I don't believe he's top 10. He may be like 15 or so, or maybe even like near the 20s. But Sandhagen's like the dude, you know. So he's just taking on all comers, and they pretty much said, or that I think Sandhagen went on an aerial show and said that it's official, that they told him it's another contender fight. So, but moving on outside the cage news, a very interesting topic that happened earlier in the week. I believe who broke the news, was it Marcel? Well, we'll have Big Marcel's joining us next Thursday night. That guy's always breaking the news about fights, crazy shit happening behind the scenes, and I think he did indeed break the news of Alistair Overeem retiring. So we've seen some pretty weird pictures of him recently where he looked like a lightweight, and talked about it on the show. But here we are a week later, and the Reem has called it quits. But has he really called it quits?
It's because there's no more horse meat in the Netherlands. He ate them all. He ate it all.
Fuck, yeah, straight up.
He ate Seabiscuit.
He ate all the fucking horses in the Netherlands.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, Alistair Overeem, God, man, on the topic, we got to pay a little tribute and just kind of reminisce about Overeem moments. You know what I mean? We'll get to Robbie Lawler, who's also another legend, who's calling it, fight going out on his shield against, was it Nico Price? I mean, Nico Price, right? That's who he's fighting. Okay. But Alistair Overeem, what's your guys' favorite Alistair Overeem memory, though? Starting with you, Mark.
KO of Brock.
Hey, that was horse meat, roided
That
to
knee
the
to the
gills.
body was beautiful. Oh, that was just awesome. And the LMFAO video.
Yeah, roided to the absolute gills. But yeah, that was golden era
They both
UFC.
were. Come on.
Well, not well. He got the exemption. We know Brock was in there. You know, he was technically clean. You know,
You know what? He probably was at that time.
yeah. Well, at that time, see, that's a golden era where like there was that very fine line where you know what I mean. Like, hey, but what the fuck did he change his name to? The Demolition Man. When he changed his name to the Demolition Man, then shit went south
Hmm.
for Alistair. When he was just the Ream, then he was
Yep.
reaming motherfuckers.
Uberim.
Yeah, but what was it? The last fight he had, Rico Verhoeven in kickboxing. I mean, the guy's got fucking 61 fights or 63 fights on his
Nice.
fucking professional
Done
record.
it all.
So,
K1, Dream. You know, he had that little nice tear he had for a couple years, you know, with Dream and K1 and Elite XC and Strike Force where he fought all over, it seemed like.
yeah. Well, there was a streak where he was, I mean, from K1 on into the UFC, nobody could stop him.
Hmm.
And then he came in and who knocked him out? Was it Travis Brown or somebody fucked him up or Bigfoot fucked him up?
It was Bigfoot Silva. Bigfoot destroyed him, but Bigfoot was losing that fight. Reem was winning that fight and then got really cocky and then bam.
Yeah.
Bigfoot just mollywopped him.
Mollywopped him. What the fuck kind of old timer cuss word is that? Mollywopped him.
See, and at that time too, when
Wow.
Overeem came in, when Bigfoot that had that most odd finish of him, the fucking like Reem, the UFC was cashing in. They wanted they wanted him to hold the belt, which he never did in the UFC. He held belts, all the other organizations. But my a memory that I have of Overeem is I had the luxury of being at Jackson Wink Gym, watching him train. I believe when he was fighting Stipe. And
Okay.
they had it was our Andrew Arlovsky was in the gym. They both eventually fought, but they had like the curtain up and like Overeem was real like private about his training sessions. But remember, I got to observe his training. I actually did a segment for Fight Network about it. And Overeem, they were talking about taking Stipe down, going for the submission, and like I heard a lot of people saying like, no, that's absolutely not going to happen. What do we remember happened? He almost submitted Stipe, and that was like one of that fight was a phantom tap. Do you guys remember that fight?
Yeah.
Where Stipe pretty much tapped, and then they said he didn't tap, gets back to his feet, and then he knocks him out. So yeah, that was the time when everybody was walking around at Jackson Wing Gym, from Yair Rodriguez himself to the Reem to Arlovsky to just about anybody. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's definitely
everyone there.
Yeah, even like Al Romero and like crazy. I've seen a lot of people in that gym, but that's one of my favorite memories. One of the favorite fights, I guess, I don't know, like the Verdum fight, Ngannou on the wrong side of the coin when Ngannou nearly took his fucking head off. But the Reem fought the best of the best in the world, and I don't know. I have a feeling he might unretire like Bigfoot Silva next week, and he's bare knuckle fighting against Roy Nelson or something, right?
My favorite memory of Alistair Overeem was this one, where he's holding the Strike Force, K1, and Dream belts. That was fucking awesome, bro.
He was,
I thought he was gonna. He would join the UFC and get that belt too. One of my all-time favorite fighters, bro. Alistair Overeem. Watched him ever since the Pride days, and dude's a badass, bro. Him and his brother.
And I think his win, still given like what's happened to him in his career since then, is the win over Sergey Pavlovich. Because look at Sergey Pavlovich, he's like the top dog at heavyweight, over and smoked him. You know what I mean? And that's his only loss. But the Reem days are long. Well, the Reem days are long gone. With the Demolition Man, probably never again. But there's still that bare knuckles fucking. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I hear that the horses are making a comeback in the Netherlands since he's retired.
Yeah, the horse population has actually increased like by 3%. Yeah.
Yep, it's returned.
But speaking of heavyweights and the best in the world to ever do it, Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, the rumors are swirling that fight might happen. We know Deontay Wilder and Joshua got the fight date booked for December. So Ngannou's not fighting Wilder. Like I know, Rudy, you always said that's the fight for him. does fucking Ngannou and Fury actually do the exhibition or whatever, if it's a real deal? What do you guys think?
If the money's right, I think anything can happen, and the money's right, that'll definitely sell. I know exactly how it's going to end up. It seems like a boring matchup to me, man.
Yeah, because remember when that was the first time we seen Ngannou, and like they were in talks with the Jones situation, and that fell out. He appeared at Tyson Fury's fight, called him into the ring, and then they've been pretty vocal about Tyson saying that he'd offer them the fight. You know, even if it's a 2-fight deal, he'll fight him in the ring and then fight him in MMA. But I doubt the MMA thing will happen. But in boxing, yeah, for sure, if the money's right, I would love to see Francis make a shit ton of money, go out there, make it interesting, and it'll sell. I mean, I don't know what venue it would be, but it would fucking sell. And what would be a proper venue, Mark? What do you think for that type of fight?
Wembley Stadium.
It would. I think it could do.
Fury will want it over there. Fury's gonna want it over there, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not. That would probably be a lot better, man. I mean, Ngannou's from.
But they might want to do it where
right?
Ngannou's from too, though. They might want to maybe do it there to try to bring in the money over there. So
you Thriller in Manila.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they do Thriller Manila, well, I think the UK is very proper. Like I also heard I wanted to talk to Emmett about it, but I heard like the UFC London card, it's in a couple weeks. They still have tons of tickets that haven't sold, and when they had that fight night last time with Patty, like that shit sold out in like a day. So there's something weird going on with like the UFC
fights dropping
UK
out of that
scene.
card or something. Maybe that could be why it's not selling. Maybe fights are dropping out.
Well, it's headlined by Tom Aspinall returning. I think he's fighting what's his name, Marcin Tybura.
Oh,
and
that's
Tom Aspinall's looking like fucking. Yeah, Rudy, I don't know if you have seen Aspinall recently. That guy looks like a monster, man, and he's coming back rather quickly off a pretty scary knee injury, but kind of fucking derailed the hype too. You know what I mean? So he was a big time draw for the UK.
I'm excited for him to come back.
Yeah, but the card itself has not been a big seller. I think Dan Hardy was talking about the same thing, but it's not really like a heavy. I guess Aspinall is a draw there, but maybe it has something to do with like Leon not wanting to fight there too, because we know Leon Edwards has been sitting on the shelf for a while. He was supposed to Colby. You know, that's not that fight. We still don't know what the hell's going on with that. But yeah, I thought it was very strange that the UFC London card was still, you know, pretty, like you can get a ticket. Like, I don't know if they're expensive or what the deal is. There's something up with that. So UFC's got a situation to handle in the UK. So
they got to figure something out over there.
Yeah. And then I think, Mark, you had sent it in the chat, KSI and Tommy Fury, right? When is it? November?
I believe so. Yeah, it's within the next few months. Yeah, KSI and Tommy Fury. That's
boring.
Yeah, it's gonna be a joke. It's gonna be like KSI and Jake. It's gonna be a joke. It's gonna be a joke. Tommy's gonna probably get knocked out. I think. I honestly think KSI is gonna catch him with a cheap shit, like a quick sucker punch, like a quick little pop. Hopefully not an elbow like the last one.
Well, the Jake Paul and Diaz fight, I still don't believe is happening until it actually happens too. But Tommy Fury, maybe him and Jake will run it back again, and it won't be in like, where the fuck was it, in like Egypt or something last time, or just like some like. Is
that where it was last time? I thought it was in Abu Dhabi.
No, not. It wasn't in Abu Dhabi. It was in one of them countries. I forget, but it was like in the middle of the desert. But it's like a desert, like fucking Abu Dhabi type town. I forget the name, but
Albuquerque.
Oh,
what
Did David freeze up?
I think so.
He dropped out.
Oh. GSP's returning this fall.
Oh yeah, he's at what was it again?
Pass Invitational.
Yeah.
Grappling. So I'm not sure who his opponent's going to be, but since a certain somebody is still in the testing pool, we might see him and Khabib grappling against each other. Maybe that's who he's facing, possibly.
Been seeing a lot of GSP lately. I saw him. Supposedly he's training Elon Musk for his upcoming fight, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Good person to train him, though. You know what I mean? But it's going to be good to see him back in action. I don't care who he faces. Just seeing him back in any kind of combat sport is going to be interesting. Does he still have it? Has he lost a step? We'll see. But Khabib being still in the USADA pool is interesting, though, isn't it, Rudy?
Not really.
I knew he wasn't gone out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I knew he was staying in it just to, just in case he wanted to come back one more time, right? The right fight came back, the right, money.
No, nothing will make him come back, dude.
Yeah, that promise to his mom is a promise to his mom, right?
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy that's gonna go back on what he promised to do, man.
But I think he's gonna go down as one of the best coaches, though, because he's a pretty damn good cornerman, isn't he?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me, Mark.
He seems to be coaching pretty damn good, so it seems like a lot of his fighters are pretty damn good. Have quite the good win-loss record, so we'll see. We had the Hall of Fame induction. Was it today or is it tomorrow?
It's tonight. The Hall of Fame induction is tonight. Robbie Lawler will be inducted in the Hall of Fame for his fight against Rory McDonald.
Well deserved. That was a great fight.
Yeah, man. And Robbie Lawler will be making his final appearance tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that a little more when we break down the card.
Yeah, Jens Pulver's going in the Hall of Fame. Cerrone's going in the Hall of Fame. Wow. Those are some interesting names on the who's who of fighting.
David, are you with us? Can you hear us? We can't hear you, David.
Are you back, David?
No.
Oh, there he is. I see him.
I see him. Just can't hear him.
Oh.
David's having problems. David, can you hear me?
Nah, friggin' the Ultimate Fighter, though, Rudy, is just... Team Chandler's just running over Team McGregor. Like, it's
I haven't watched it, man. I haven't watched it.
Honestly, I don't blame you. I got to rewatch the episodes because I just don't really watch it like live. I'll watch it later. And
just once all the shit the past couple of weeks with Connor and then just hearing that he wasn't gonna fight Chandler and he's out of the testing pool, it just kind of, I'm not really I wasn't really as motivated to watch it. It's like, whatever, man, I'll watch it.
You know what? That's fair. I understand that completely. And now he's up. Team Chandler's up 6-0 now.
Yeah, kind of expected.
Well, if it was the other way around, it'd be, Team McGregor would be winning. It's like, no, it's like, I don't think so. I think it depends on the coach. I don't think it, if McGregor had all the vests, he'd be winning.
I don't think it's really based on the coach per se, man. It's just these are well-seasoned, experienced fighters up against
young guns.
Yeah, man. And there's a lot more pressure on those. I would say those young guns, man. Because they got shit to prove.
And the one guy was McGregor's teammate. He was winning his fight up until he lost. And next week, Jason Knight finally gets his chance to fight. Which I believe this might be his last little run to get into the UFC and to have that last run there. But we'll see. You know what I mean?
Man, so Roberto's out. David is dropping in and out. Let's talk about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. So
honestly,
have you been on that have you been on Mark Zuckerberg's Twitter ripoff threads?
No, I've just seen people starting to join it now.
It's fucking stupid, bro. It's
the
horrible.
greatest thing ever.
No. And the funny thing is, he hired a bunch of ex-Twitter employees and pretty much made a clone of Twitter, and it's like a half-assed clone. It sucks, bro. It's just like you're importing all your bullshit from Instagram, and then, it's so dumb. It just recommends all sorts of weird bullshit that has nothing to do with me and nothing I'm interested in. it's just ugly and boring. I don't like it, man. I don't like Threads. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, and the fucked up thing is, if you look at the terms, like this app, you're basically giving them access to everything, dude. Your phone calls, your recordings, your pictures, everything on your phone that you could possibly think of.
I ain't joining.
They're just data scraping, man, and I don't like it, man.
It's basically it's like Edward Nygma, the box in all homes in America.
Yeah, they're trying to see your booty hole pics.
I don't have booty hole pics, bro. I don't know about you. I'm sure you do.
No, I don't.
Bro, we saw you last week. We saw that mug in your hand.
Which one? This one?
That one. There you go. Booty hole pics confirmed. Booty.
Yeah, no, I did want to talk about that too. It's great that you brought that up, Rudy, because I heard
Mark's
about it.
Booty hole?
I heard the Threads, because apparently that's like what did they get, like 33 million or users in one night, or I don't know. That's like the new thing, and like it'll be the new thing until it isn't. But yeah, if it's anything close to like, I don't know, Twitter is just an angry place for a bunch of angry people, and like the censorship and like whatever. Like Twitter hasn't been the same since I left Twitter. So,
I love Twitter, bro. Twitter is the shit.
I fucking hate it. But
I love it.
But yeah, if we're still on Outside the Cage news, sorry for the tech difficulties. It threw me out. I blame fucking Rob for everything tonight. So Rob, not a real fight fan in traffic. But I do want to mention the return of the great George St. Pierre. I believe he's coming back in December, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. We just talked about that when you were gone, bro.
Fight Pass Invitational.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good, because we did talk about it last time I was on the show. We're thinking GSP's got to come back at some point, like either in Karate Combat, or talked about Luke Rockhold, or you guys, the show notes from last week. Like, I think Luke Rockhold would be a great fit in Karate Combat, but imagine the great George St. Pierre in Karate Combat. It'd be pretty epic.
And we also talked about that
black belt, so you know
that he's been training Elon for his upcoming fight.
Too. Oh, it's no joke. Yeah. If GSP's involved,
and he helped Dan Hooker with his hair.
Dan Hooker's trying to channel his Elvis Brenner. That's right. Even our boy, Tyler King's got a grappling bout too, right? CES coming up too. So Tyler King coming. Yeah. Shout out to TK. Where you at? You're not a real fight fan, TK. You're not watching every fight. I'm watching TK's bout. You're not a real fight fan, because I think it's next week, right?
I believe so.
Okay. GSP returns. What else? Presser was whack as shit. What else? Britney Spears slapped by the San Antonio Spurs security guards for trying to get a pick.
What? I didn't hear about that. What? I don't know about that.
Talk about Hit Me Baby one more time.
She was trying to get a pick, the number one pick, Victor Wembanyama, and apparently the Spurs security guards slap series style. Oh, also, slap series. Our boy Dorian, look out. And actually, you know what's crazy? That, like, well, it is International Fight Week, but I know previously there was like 3 or 4 events. They had a Thursday card, a Friday card, but this time around, like, is it just me, or does not, like, this International Fight card, I don't know, the presser kind of, and I mean, I'm not that much more excited about that presser, but I mean, they got the slap series. None of the press or the media asked any questions about it. Pretty sure Dana's like a little bit more looking forward to that than the fights. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
That's his baby.
I don't read Dana anymore, honestly. I can't really read him.
Yeah. But slap series should be good, though. Each time around, they gets better and better, and everyone's going to hate until they can't hate no more. So, yeah, but, that pressure, I don't know. Rudy watched it and listened. I mean, it was, I don't know, like, that just doesn't seem like International Fight Week. I know the fights are very high-level bouts, very meaningful fights, and we will get to that card in just a few. But, yeah, it just does not seem like the normal International Fight Week. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't have the right feel to it, bro. It lost its flavor, kind of like Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Oh, he's done, right? Or what did Dana say about the fight? Like they're still trying to like pull the Chandler fight off. I don't know when they're
Well,
thinking it's
apparently
going to
Dana
happen.
can kind of veto the whole USADA and not allowing him to fight thing.
Well, if they decide
That's
to
what my
do
cousin
that,
tells me, that Dana White can still allow the fight to happen. I guess they can overdo it.
Well, it's not going to be in Vegas. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly.
If they do it,
Vegas.
it's going to be on some. It's got to be. It's got to be in Abu Dhabi, bro.
Yeah. Abu Dhabi would allow that shit.
Have them on the card. Have Khamzat on the card.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, Khamzat's been out for how long? Kobe's been out. Leon Edwards. There's quite a few of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right though, Rudy. We've talked about it.
Keep up to a year for some of them.
Yeah, it's speculating at this point, but it makes sense because Abu Dhabi, when they put on those cards, the sanctioning body they overrule, like they are USADA. You know what I mean? There, so it's like whatever. That's why you see Chimaev fight on those cards, and I think that's kind of why you've seen Conor fight over there previously when he fought Poirier. You know what I mean? So if it happens like that again, I will not be shocked because fuck it, like you said, Mark, let Chandler juice up too because fuck it, you know, like let's go. Like I'm down for that shit.
Damn right.
But I'm down for Chimaev against Israel Adesanya. That shit needs to happen in Sydney.
I want to see you juiced up Vitor versus Conor McGregor in Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah. When is he boxing again too? Because he fucking that guy in boxing. He's another. I don't know. If he has that cross shaved into his head.
Probably this fall.
Well, speaking of boxing too, we totally forgot, Mark. We were talking before we went live. Jose Aldo is officially 3-0-1.
Yeah.
In boxing. Yeah.
And
the guy he was fighting shot a takedown on him. I don't know if you guys seen it.
No,
he was watching Brawl for All beforehand. That's why he thought it was Brawl for All from back in the '90s. He was trying to get those extra points for the takedowns.
I'm hoping for Floyd against Aldo because get Aldo paid. You know what I mean? Like fuck the guy.
Yeah. I want Aldo to get paid.
Yeah, Aldo Mayweather has to happen. I don't care if it's an exhibition; it does not matter because like Floyd's going to keep fighting these exhibition fights.
But he gets paid all the time. He gets paid royalties for all his music.
And Floyd's guaranteed money anyways. Like he's guaranteed to get paid no matter what for those fights. So
yeah,
and so is Ja Rule.
Yeah. But the Gotti fights at the Saitama Arena, that's what kind of crazy Twilight Zone shit we got going. The rematch will be at Saitama. There'll probably be like 60,000 people there. And Floyd will probably throw a bouquet of roses at Gotti, and a fight will break out. Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
That's just where we're at, boys. And I mean, talk about Twilight Zone or just entering like the realm of unknown in combat sports. We're just making up the history as we go along, and we're all for it. Fuck it. Elon Musk has to fight soon. Otherwise, I'm going to stop watching all the combat sports.
Ditto.
Well, from fights that may in fact happen, that fights that, I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know. Nate Diaz is coming up, next month? That fight's sneaking up on us. There is some good fights. The UFC last week card delivered for a fight night. It is International Fight Week. UFC 290. We will get to that now. I guess Berto's still stuck in traffic. So
beforehand, Yair's custom belt. Have y'all seen that?
No.
Oh yeah, legit. Nice. And they might just start going that route too. Like give Conor the $1 million belt too. He could defend that, right? The Ted DiBiase belt. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But UFC 290 back at the T-Mobile Arena. Prelims are on ABC. Slated for 14 bouts.
What do you score the fight poster?
Oh yeah, the poster is legit. I like it.
I give it a 9.
Yeah, it's like an 8 or a 9. They did good on this one, but they failed at the press conference though. So.
Yeah, I definitely give this one an 8. I think it could have been a little better, man. It's just.
But I think like, what did they expect though? I mean, like, Moreno's one of the nicest guys in the game. Yair doesn't talk shit. Volk's not a shit talker. Pantoja totally fucking is not going to say shit. You know what I mean? So
that's why you get reporters to go in there and start some shit. I'll be like, hey, Did you hear what Volkanovski said about your mom backstage, bro?
Yeah.
Did you hear that shit?
He called her a sheep fucker.
Whoa.
But it was sad though that the pound for pound king only got 2 questions from the media, and like all those other dorks were just asking stupid questions. So
Oh, like
yeah.
like the guy that's fighting Bo Nickel. They asked him a couple questions, and that dude is just like a boxer rocks.
Yeah, he's done. He's a dead man walking anyway, but he got paid. Dana White loves guys that just, they're like, okay, we're showcasing Bo. And he was going to smoke Tresean Gore too, you know what I mean? But this guy, it's a total mismatch, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, Bo Nickel does have a lot of pressure on him because he's such a big underdog and the biggest underdog in UFC history. I don't think it's right, though, because, like, what? If he doesn't finish him in, like, 30 seconds, then what? That the hype is not real, and then it's a guy that make a short notice debut. I don't know, man. The Gore fight wasn't too impressive either, right, Rudy?
No, not at all, man. I want to see a bigger step in competition. If you're saying this kid is the future, then let's see him fight some bigger names.
Let's see him fight Sean Strickland. No, I'm just kidding.
So
yeah.
you want to start from the bottom? Start from the bottom.
Yeah,
Kamala Kirk.
Yeah, we're starting from the bottom. Now we here UFC 290. Heavy. Well, it's a heavy Aussie card as well as some Mexican fighters. So it's got lots of international fighters. I mean, there's got the Japanese fighter, Sweden. Yeah, but it's dominated by the Aussie guys, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And then you got Robbie Lawler, Nico Price. Let's see.
We got a couple of South Africans.
Well, the only true South African is DDP, right? But starting from the main, geez, Esteban Ribovics is 141 at lightweight against Camilla Kirk. Yeah, this fight, I mean, out of the realm of relevancy, I don't know. I don't got a good read on it. What are the odds already?
So this fight, Kamwela, I don't like that name, Kamwela Kirk. He's a plus 120 underdog, minus 145 favorite for Esteban Ribovics. Yeah, man. I guess there's a lot of hype with Ribovics, man. He did lose his UFC debut against Loik Radzhabov, unanimous decision. And Kirk has been in the UFC for 2 years now. He won his debut and then he lost to Damon Jackson in a submission arm triangle choke about a year ago.
Yeah, he's a featherweight moving to lightweight, so that's not a good sign right there. I don't think I'm going to pick him. I'm going Ribovics, you know?
Yeah. I can't really go with Kirk at all. I can't.
Yeah, I don't got a good read. Yeah, can't do it. But yeah, the odds are, I don't know. To start the card off, this fight better like really kick things off. You know what I mean? For the first fight of the night, then we get our first Mexican fighter, Jesus Aguilar, against the Aussie fighter Shannon Ross, 125ers. Shannon Ross came from Dana White Contender Series, right?
Yeah, he came from the Contender Series. He lost in the Contender Series against Vinicius Salvador. And then he made his debut against Clayton Rodriguez and lost that about 4 months ago. So, yeah.
He's got a lot of canceled fights, too. So, yeah, it's kind of – he hasn't been as active. What's his name? Aguilar had a fight with the killer in Tara and got submitted. So, I'd say I'm going Jesus Aguilar. The odds definitely got to be in his favor. I say he smokes Shannon Ross.
Yeah, it opened up – he was a 215 moderate favorite, plus 175 underdog for Shannon Ross. Right now, he's a plus 123 underdog and a minus 145 favorite, so it's getting a little tighter. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to go with Jesus Santos Aguilar.
Yeah, Jesus for all three.
Moving on the card, we do have the other South African fighter, like Rudy referred to, Cameron Simon, who is a killer, against Terrence Mitchell, and I believe Terrence Mitchell is a replacement opponent, right?
Yeah, he's a short notice opponent.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight C-Rod, which was a great what do you call it, prospect killer matchup with Cameron Simon. But I don't know, man. Terrence Mitchell's got some good wins, great record. He's one of those Alaskan fighters that it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to get a read on this fight, though. I can't really pick against Cameron Simon. Terrence Mitchell may, in fact, go in there and show out and make a fantastic debut and, take that O, you know what I mean, from Simon. But, yeah, the C-Rod fight was super legit. That sucks that that fight dropped out.
Yeah. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Simon, he's a minus 550 favorite, plus 410 underdog for Mitchell Terrence. He opened up at a minus 480 heavy favorite and a plus 350 underdog for Mitchell. So these odds are widening, closer they get. I'm definitely going with Cameron Simon. I don't think Mitchell Terrence stands a chance.
Yeah, Mark?
Seaman.
Seaman? Did you just say Seaman, bro?
I said Seaman.
I heard you say Seaman.
I said Seaman. I didn't say Seaman. I said Seaman.
That's when you're supposed to pull out the cup. I heard you say Seaman, bro.
And Simon's one of those guys from the Contender Series, and being that only 8-0, ranked in the top 50 in the world according to Tapology, pretty solid, man. So I think he's coming in here with a lot of hype, and he can't really drop this fight to Mitchell. But Mitchell, Dana White loves the guy. They're taking these short notice bouts, and he may in fact go in there and make it a dogfight. But Cameron Simon all the way for sure. Moving on the prelims, 205 action.
Vitor Petrino versus Marcin Prachnio.
Prachnio,
sorry.
Yeah, Petrino is ranked 52 at light heavyweight, and Marcin Prachnio number 35. Somewhat in the realm of relevancy at 205, but Petrino undefeated. Prachnio has got some decent bouts in the UFC, but I think he's on a loss streak, right, Rudy? Or?
No, he won his last fight against William Knight, his unanimous decision 3 months ago. Before that, he lost to Felipe Lins in a unanimous decision, and he had a 2-fight win streak before that.
Oh yeah,
and he lost to our boy Slow Mike Rodriguez.
And Sam Alvey, because that's the thing I remember him from where he had a bad run, and then the UFC kept him, so he's back on track with a win. But coming in here against Petrino, I don't know. This has got to be somewhat of a close pick'ems fight in the odds, right? Or what do you see, Rudy?
Minus 275, moderate favorite for Petrino. Prachnio is a plus 220 underdog, and not much has changed. Minus 260 favorite. Prachnio's plus 210 underdog, so not really much has changed on that. I'm definitely going Vitor Petrino. Anybody with the name Vitor and Brazilian, they're gonna bring some heat, bro.
Yeah, agreed. And because shit, Prachnio, it's tough to pick that guy. I think I've had a terrible track record. I'm looking at Tapology of picking that guy's fights. So based on that alone, like you said, Rudy Vitor from Brazil. Let's go Petrino.
This is going to be an excellent card to make some money, man, because there's some for sure fights that, there's just no doubt about it. Cameron Simon is one of them, I think. The Vitor Petrino, I think that one's a definitely lock. The next fight that we're going to talk about, Edgar Chairez versus Tatsuro Taira, that's definitely a lock. Those odds are pretty insane. Taira opened up at a minus 910. Huge favorite, plus 600, huge underdog for Edgar Chairez. 13-0, Tatsuro Taira. This kid he's phenomenal, bro. The odds have kind of widened. Tatsuro Taira is a minus 1,000 favorite, plus 625 underdog for Edgar Chairez. And that's not even the most insane odds on this card.
You got the Bo Nickel that's like 2,700 favorite or something.
No, this is that fight. That's the first UFC fight ever where a fighter opens up at a minus 2,500 favorite.
Not even Cyborg could pull that off in her day,
But I'm definitely going Tatsuro Taira. I think he's gonna, his submission game, his ground game is just levels, bro, levels beyond Chairez. Chairez he's got good hands, but I think he need a little more than good hands to finish this guy. Once Tatsuro grabs him, it's over.
Yeah, and I think, well, Chida's got his nickname is the Pitbull, and I think he's got a pit bull tattooed on him. It's kind of hard to count a guy out like that, and he's from Mexico on International Fight Week. But yeah, Tyra for sure. Like, it'd be really crazy if he gets smoked too. Like, if he gets ran through oddly by Chida's, like, I'm pretty sure Rob, if he was here, Rob would be picking Chida's, right?
Probably.
But it's flyweight, and I think the fight actually is at a catchweight, but they're both flyweight fighters, but they're fighting at 130. But
Okay.
yeah, Tyra cracks the top 10, or he's right on the cusp, so he's got to go out there and showcase a good win against a tough Mexican fighter. So yeah, I'm going Tyra too as well. Moving on the prelims, this is a rematch, a quick turnaround for Jimmy Crute, Alonzo Menafield. The last fight was a draw, the Mark Special. And both these guys are, well, this fight is super necessary. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool that they agreed to run it back because last time what Menafield fucked up, it was like a low blow or something. They took a point. He was winning the fight. Jimmy Crute had some great ground and pound, got some good takedowns on him. And Menafield's a G, man, always in good shape. This fight indeed will, wow, man, it's such a close pick-up fight. I don't know. It's a coin flipper. I'd probably go
Another
Jimmy
draw.
Crute. Yeah, if it goes another draw, then fuck.
I don't think so, man.
No,
I don't think it's going to be a
Crute's
draw.
gonna take this one. I think Crute's going to get it by split decision.
If he
You're
doesn't have a mullet,
you're gonna do the whole old Tommy D. He's due.
No,
if Crute comes out there without the mullet, I haven't seen him for the fight week. Without a mullet, I'm picking him. But if he has a mullet, Menafield.
Yeah, I'm going with Alonzo Menafield, man. He was on a 2-fight win streak when he took this fight against Jimmy Crute, and it was a majority decision. Jimmy Crute was on a 2-fight losing streak against some hitters. I think he's a bit chinny. I don't think his chin's going to stand up, to this test come Saturday night. I think Alonzo's going to put him out, man, cold. First round KO. And the odds are... Yeah, the odds are minus 105 for Menafield, minus 115 for Jimmy Crute. That's when it opened up. Right now, we got Jimmy Crute kind of taking the lead, minus 130 favorite. Alonzo Menafield's a minus 109 underdog. I'm definitely going with Alonzo Menafield.
And I think, well, yeah, because both fighters, they know each other pretty well. Menafield does have probably the power advantage on the feet. Crute, if he gets the takedowns, he could be devastating there. So fight could change. I see it going everywhere. But yeah, Menafield, I'll go Menafield decision. Close decision. So moving on, women's strawweight, Yasmin Jarogui, previously with Combate Global, had a nice little run in the UFC, still undefeated at 10-0 against Denise Gomez, Brazilian, ranked number 33, and Jasmine's at 18. Lots of hype behind Jasmine, Mexican fighter. I think the placement on the card is very proper. I don't think this fight will disappoint. Odds-wise, I don't know, Reed. It's got to be a close, right?
No, not close at all, man. Minus 420 opening heavy favorite for Yasmin Jauregui. Denise Gomez was a plus 320 underdog. As of right now, it looks like Jauregui's minus 400 and Denise Gomez a plus 300 underdog. So it doesn't, it looks like it's getting a little tighter, but it's not going to change much.
Yeah, no, never mind. She runs away with it, Yasmin. Better competition, previous champion in Combate. I know Rob. I'm picking for Rob and me, Yasmin.
Yeah.
Submission or so. I mean, because she's dangerous. So, but the Gomez, those odds are, they're necessary, man. But Yasmin's got lots of hype, and we do need a fresh contender at women's strawweight, and she may in fact be a couple wins. So. Moving on to prelims, man, I'm so goddamn bummed that we ain't getting the Jack Madalena. And what he was supposed to, the replacement, didn't they offer him Kyle Barella, right? And then I guess that fight didn't, they didn't want, like, the money wasn't right or something, but he was supposed to fight Sean Brady. So Jack Madalena has been training for Sean Brady, and I don't think at all Josiah Harrell is ready for what shit that Jack Della Maddalena is gonna
Oh
bring.
hell no, bro! And I'm surprised that the odds aren't bigger. You know, Jack Della Maddalena opened up at a huge favorite, minus 1,115. Josiah Harrell's a minus 650, huge underdog. As of right now, it's got a little tighter, minus 1,000 favorite. Josiah Harrell's a plus 600 underdog. No way in hell Josiah Harrell wins this fight. This is another definite lock. I mean, you could do a couple of parlays, man, with some of these fights, and you'll win some money because there's 100% guarantees on this card, man.
Yeah, because the opportunity was right there for Jack to make a big statement against Sean Brady, where Sean Brady was like the next up and coming star and possible like title contender. But I do indeed believe Jack Della Maddalena is like a fight or two out of like, you know, being in title talks, and the Sean Brady fight would put him there. Josiah Harrell, no disrespect, man, but he's gonna get smoked bad. And Della Maddalena, I don't know who they give him next, because like maybe they try to rerun the Brady fight, but he's gonna fight nothing but big names. I see him fighting the Shavkats. I see him fighting who did he fuck up last time? Neil Magny, right? I mean, not Neil Magny. Who did he beat, right? Rudy's last fight?
Who we talking here? Jack Della?
Yeah, easily his last
Oh,
fight.
yeah, it was Magny's doppelganger, Randy Brown.
Oh, no. Randy Brown talked a lot of shit, and he got worked. Like, no one had ever destroyed him that way. But, yeah, I do believe Jack gets, like, fuck it, give him the title shot. Maddalena in a win. Leon Edwards and Jack Della Maddalena, who wins?
Leon.
But, yeah, no, Jack, you never know. You know, just throw him out there. Like,
In Wales.
Old Smush Nose himself.
yeah.
I just want him to win so he could finally get surgery to fix his damn nose.
Give Jack Della Maddalena Chimaev. Make Chimaev cut to 170 one more time. No, let's go. Well, yeah, let's go Jack, man. Love to see that guy competing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's going to showcase a fucking killer finish. He always does. So, but speaking of finishes, made an entire career of it. Super legend of the game. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Fighting Nico Price, and I guess, man, that's one hell of a guy to go out on your final fight. But
Yeah.
Nico Price is a wild man, and I mean, Robbie Lawler, what has he been fighting like once a year, and he pretty much fights like on these cards, like the International Fight Week. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Speaking of one legend, earlier we talked about the Reem. We'll talk about Robbie Lawler and like I mean, shit, dude. It's unbelievable that he's never attempted one submission his entire career. Fun fact.
Yeah, he's fought the who's who too of MMA. You know what I mean? Like in Strike Force and UFC. You know, wherever he's went, he's fought everyone. You know, like he came in, you know, as a teenager and was fighting grown ass men and whooping their asses. You know what I mean?
19 years old with hair.
Yeah.
Robbie Lawler with hair was a killer.
Yeah.
But then he had the
Such a rare
resurgence.
thing to see.
Yeah.
Part of that team Milicic, you know what I mean? Like, look who his teammates were back then. Jens, a current, you know, someone who else went in the Hall of Fame tonight. Matt Hughes, Jim Sylvia, you know what I mean? Like all them.
No, Robbie's definitely part of that old breed, that golden era. You know what I mean? And like the story or what happened in his career, the way it played out. I mean, his resurgence and you know, taking that title, the fights with Johnny Hendricks. One of my favorite fights when he fought Carlos Condit. Super close fight. I still believe Carlos won the fight. And I remember talking to Carlos afterwards and him describing the fight like as he was in. I felt like he was like in the ocean or like waves kept coming and he was drowning and just winging punches. And of course, Carlos Condit, one of the best chins in the game. Robbie Lawler, of course. Yeah. So that fight was probably one of the more epic bouts in welterweight history, along, of course, with the fight that's going into the Hall of Fame. Epic fight with Rory Red King and unbelievable, man. Like if you're call yourself a real fight fan and you don't remember that fight, even if you weren't a fight fan at that time, like Jesus, like ridiculous. And that was probably
Bobby Volkner was a good one too. That was like a long time ago, but that was a good one. That head kick finish was a good one. Even the Barberina fight, even though we lost that fight, that was still a good ass fight.
And I think this fight with Nico Price too, like he's gonna have to Nico's gonna have to get in there and make it ugly, just like Barberina did, because Barberina is probably one of the better guys, like in the phone booth. You know what I mean? And Robbie loves those fights, those gun blazer fights in the phone booth. Even on fighting backwards, Robbie Lawler was always dangerous off the back foot. But just amazing. Never any submissions. Always game, like just to throw down and go out on his shield. You know what I mean? No matter what. And I think the time off that he's been taking recently, fighting once a year, it's very proper. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he does, in fact, like walk away for good. Maybe he does do a little bare knuckle or something.
Or bare knuckle or some regular boxing, or
I think he would fuck people up, even though he's like 42 now. He could probably still compete and make it fight some cool fights. I don't know if it's in the cards for him in his career right now, but Robbie Lawler's kind of had a pretty historic career, right? And then Rudy, what's your take on the career of Bob Lawler, man? Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, his fights with Rory were awesome. I loved his fight with Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, and Johnny Hendricks. I mean, he's fought the who's who. I liked when he beat the shit out of Josh Koscheck.
Yeah, I love that one the most.
The Tim Kennedy fight. I mean, he lost that fight. It was a unanimous decision, but that was a great fight. I mean, he's had some fucking wars, bro. And I don't know. I don't see him doing anything else after this. At the press conference, he seemed a little emotional. I don't know, man. You can usually tell, man, on the guys, what they're giving off, and he just wasn't putting out those vibes, man.
I think a sad fight for him was when he had to fuck up way out of shape Nick Diaz. But when they fought years ago, man, was that an epic time for welterweights. Like, they don't make welterweights like they did with the Diaz at that time and Robbie Lawler. Like you mentioned, the Johnny Hendricks, Dear Me era, and GSP.
Those were the days.
Yeah, he lost to Evan Tanner in UFC 50. I remember that shit.
Evan Tanner, there's a friggin' name.
Yeah, rest in peace, Evan.
Yeah.
Is he fighting at UFC 50, and then here we are at UFC 290? Unbelievable.
That's crazy, bro. So he started off at UFC 37 back in 2002. Man. So 22 years Robbie Lawler has been in the game. UFC 37. So that's fucking insane.
That was back before anybody was considered a real fight fan, right?
I was a real fight fan, bro, because I watched every single UFC ever, starting with number one. I remember we would go to Blockbuster Video, and all the video stores, we would call to all of them, dude, and try to get these videos, and we would get stacks of them on the weekend and just drink and party and watch fights all weekend, dude. Just hours of it, hours. And it was crazy because, we wouldn't get them on pay-per-view. We'd have to wait till they come out, and we'd wait a couple of months and go get a couple of them and watch them. And it was like the coolest shit ever, bro. And now we get everything on demand.
Yeah, because for sure those VHSs, they're super rare these days too. I own a couple of them. I come across them every now and then when I go to like these thrift stores, and I take, and it's like the price keeps going up. You know what I mean? Especially for the really good ones. So, but VHSs. If you're listening to this show and you don't know what a VHS is, especially if it was UFC, 100% not a real fight fan. So
you're too young if you don't know what a VHS is.
But if you know about the Bas Rutens, the Robbie Lawlers, geez, what an era, man, and what a historic career. Robbie Lawler he'll always have some involvement as the coach, I believe, but there may be some fun fights where maybe he can just go out there and fucking make it interesting against Masvidal or fight fucking Anthony Pettis or something. You know what I mean? Boxing.
And Robbie Lawler came in as a plus 210 underdog. Nico Price minus 260 favorite right now. The odds are Robbie Lawler's plus 200 minus 250 favorite for Nico Price. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, man. Who do you got?
Yeah, no, I think Nico Price came off knee surgery when he fought Philip Rowe. Philip Rowe was just massive against him. You know what I mean? I don't think he was that prepared as far as his body and just jumping right back into a fight against a guy like that. I think he's a little bit more prepared now, a little bit more healthy. Robbie Lawler, of course, taking the time off. I think this is a gun blazer fight too. I think we're in for a treat, even on Robbie's last bout, given UFC 36 now to 290. I'm picking Robbie Lawler in the fight by decision. I think it'll be an absolute war.
You're going with
One
your heart.
last hurrah.
Yeah.
Out on top.
I'd like to see him win, but I think Nico Price, I think he gets it done, bro. His losses, like you said, that last fight against Phil Rowe, that was kind of unfair. He beat Alex Oliveira before that, and before that he dropped a couple of decision losses. But this dude has always had something, man. You know, whether it's standing up or on the ground. I think he's going to submit Robbie Lawler. It's not going to come easy. I think it'll be a late submission, 3rd round.
Or what if Robbie Lawler flips the script completely and he goes out and submits Nico Price?
I don't know, bro.
First submission ever in the UFC.
I mean, his body language just didn't. It just, I don't know. It didn't seem to me like he wanted it. I want to see the face-offs, but still, yeah, I don't think it's going to change my decision much.
Yeah, no, Robbie Lawler for sure, and I think, Nico Price is going to make it a dogfight, man. I love Nico Price fights too, for sure. But moving on the main card, kicking off the main card, we ain't getting Tresean Gore. We're getting Valentine Woodburn against the GOAT, Bo Nickel. What are the odds? Minus 2,500, right? You said, Rudy?
Yeah, this is the first time in UFC history a fighter's odds open up at a minus 25. Huge favorite. Plus 1,200 underdog for Val Woodburn. Right now it's kind of tightened up a little. Bo Nickel's minus 2,000, and Val Woodburn's a plus 1,000 underdog. No way in hell Val wins this fight. I mean, his last 2 fights, they were unanimous decision wins against nobodies, and Bo Nickel, bro, and not to mention he's coming in on like a fucking week's notice or some shit.
Yeah,
he's a smaller guy, a lot smaller guy. He's 5'8". Bo Nickel's 6'1". This dude stands no fucking chance.
Yeah, and I hate to say that. I do agree 100%, Rudy, but I think like his body type, because he's like a fire hydrant type deal. Like some of those guys are hard to take down, but you're going up against like one of the best wrestlers to ever transition to the UFC, and a guy that's like, I mean, if he does, well, Bo Nickel's got a little bit of pressure on him to finish the fight early. I mean, a lot of his fights don't even see a second round, but Woodburn may have some crazy fucking shot. Maybe he does hurt Bo, but then still gets like tapped out and fucking dominated. You know what I mean? So I think Woodburn may land a couple licks, but fucking Bo Nickel all the way, 100%, man.
And the next fight we got Dan GSP Hooker versus Jalen the Spider Turner.
Wow, I mean, Dan Hooker, man, like he went from almost pretty much being in title talks with that dog fight. I'll never forget with Dustin Poirier. And now he's fighting a young up-and-coming killer in Jalen Turner, who just recently fought, like, the very best guy, like one of the guys, your boy, Rudy, in Gamrot. And a lot of people thought he won the fight. You know what I mean? It was close.
I thought he won that fight.
And I think Jalen Turner is at a point in his career where, like, yeah, this Dan Hooker fight's a good test for him. Hopefully Dan is coming in at his best because, like, Jalen Turner is a finisher. I envision I see Dan Hooker getting choked out, man, like in the first round, maybe a second, but Turner is going for the kill. And I know Hooker is looking to get back on track, but this is a dangerous fight with Mr. Jalen Turner. I cannot pick against him. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not picking against Jalen Turner. He opened up at a minus 240 favorite, plus 190 underdog. Right now, yeah, not too different. Minus 285 favorite and a plus 225 underdog for Dan Hooker. This is definitely, I don't know, I wouldn't say a lock, but I'm making it a lock for me. Jalen Turner.
Yeah, the fight itself, the way it got booked, I see why, because they're very close in ranking, but it's like a guy in Dan Hooker that's an aging veteran OG and a hungry up-and-coming killer that Dan Hooker once was, but it's a crossroads fight for Dan, and he's got a lot of his boys on the card. They're riding heavy, flying across the world to Vegas to showcase International Fight Week. But yeah, Jalen Turner, man, he's a killer. That Gamrot fight, fucking run it back in the future, you know. Moving on the main card, feature fight of the night, DDP, Dricus du Plessis against Robert Bobby Knuckles Whitaker. Super necessary. Number one contender bout. Man, very
This
close
is
odds
gonna
to
be
be
fun.
in. Is
No,
Whitaker a heavy favorite or no?
yeah, he's a huge favorite. Minus 400. Dricus
Yeah,
du Plessis a plus 300 underdog, and rightfully so. I think this is a huge step up in competition, and
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I think it's too quick in my opinion, but what do I know? I think Robert
You know
Whitaker, Robert Whitaker's just kind of gonna have his way, man. I mean, this dude was a freaking champion, and yeah, it's hard to put this guy away, man. Really hard to put this guy away. He lost a unanimous decision to the champ, Israel Adesanya. I don't think Dricus is on that level. Although this dude hits like a fucking Mack truck, and he'll keep coming. I just don't think he has it in him to go 5 rounds
Yeah.
with somebody that can pick you apart. Yeah, it's not even a question. I got Robert Whitaker winning this fight.
Who do you think's gonna shoot first, Rudy? I'm sure it's gonna stay standing for a lot of it.
It's probably going to be Whitaker. I think Whitaker's a smart fighter. He's not going to stand there and try to take unnecessary damage when he knows he's got an advantage on the ground.
I feel like he's gonna get crafty. I think in this fight. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, they're both like their styles. It's a great styles matchup. Like du Plessis, we heard about like he had what do you call it, operation on his. He couldn't breathe. Basically, he was breathing out of his mouth for fucking half his career. So that's a new unlocked character. You know, breathing DDP. So I don't know how much it's going to play in the fight. Like where, hey, he's going to have to go to deep waters over Whitaker. I don't see this fight actually ending on either side, but there may be some crazy circumstance where du Plessis may in fact be able to be the one to put a fucking stamp on it and put Whitaker away and then call out Izzy, because
I think he'd have to catch him really off guard to really really put him away to get one step closer to Izzy. But Bobby Knuckles is not someone that's going to be easy to put away though either.
He'll be on my alternate bet slip.
Yeah, I will pick Dricus du Plessis for a big time upset and calls out Israel Adesanya, and they have to snuff Sean Strickland, and they will.
Like I want to see him win so he fights Izzy, but obviously I'm probably going to go for Bobby Knuckles. But I do want to see du Plessis kind of win just so I can see him face Izzy. But I think it's way too soon to face Izzy. It's already too soon to face Bobby. So you know what I mean?
But in a big statement finish of Whitaker, he gets the shot, and I know that's definitely everything he's been working for. This is his biggest fight, and I don't know, man. Like it might be a changing of the guard, because I mean, if Whitaker wins, I mean, yeah, that's still a big fight in Sydney, running back with Izzy. But I have just a strange feeling that DDP comes out shining like a diamond and fucking like a South African diamond. You know what I mean? So
that'd be good for him though. Be a hell of a notch on his belt.
Yeah, but Whitaker's made of steel, previous champ, one of the best to ever do it. Very cool fight. Very cool fight at their point of their careers, because DDP's on the rise. Whitaker's in his way in the biggest fight of his career. So, yeah.
Now for the co-main event.
I don't know why. Well, okay, they had it wrong on apology. They had Whitaker and DDP as a 205. I don't know why it had 205 on it, but definitely 185 fight. But co-main event, Brandon Moreno, he's finally not fighting Davidson Figueiredo after 18 fights straight. So I've been waiting for this fight for a while. Alessandro Pantoja, super legit. He's been waiting in the wings for how long now, Rudy? 3 years to get this fight, right?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Almost 3 years, yeah, just about.
And he's been beating everybody with ease, too. Didn't he choke out, like, Brandon Royval, like, nothing, too, right? Or who did he smoke?
Yeah, it was submission.
And
Alex Perez.
Well, Brandon Royval's the backup fighter for this
is he?
matchup. Yeah, so I don't get that, but I kind of get it.
Hasn't he now?
Yeah, because, I mean, Pantoja is just running through everybody and just, like, you know, coming to work, putting it out there, waiting around. Because Figueiredo and Moreno, man, they had an epic, you know, 4-fight lineup there where that's always going to go down in history. But, man, Pantoja's got the 2 previous wins. Both guys are fighting at the peak of their careers, right? Like there's not a bad time for these guys to fight. So, but Brandon Moreno, man, I've been terrible picking against him. I kind of want to pick him here, but man, like I just have a feeling Pantoja's got his number. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So.
That's the thing. Does he have his number, or will Moreno finally get that win over him?
I got Brandon Moreno, man.
Well, if he does, like, I mean, if Brandon beats him, there could be a fourth fight. Like, there could be like 6 more. Pantoja, Moreno, 6. Fuck. But I don't know. I just have a feeling Pantoja's got his number. Brandon Moreno is very top notch. He's a humble guy, very proud Mexican fighter. Fights his ass off, man. Like his fights are always super legit. I don't want to pick against him. I love Brandon Moreno, but I'm picking Alexandre Pantoja to take the belt.
I'm going Moreno.
I know Rob would have Moreno, so I'm the
How
only.
long do you think it's going to go, though? Is it going to go the full 5 rounds, or do you think it's going to be a stoppage?
No, I think it'd be like a 3rd round, 4th round. No, actually, it could. Like, if he's going to win, I think Pantoja wins quick in under 2. But if Moreno wins, it could be like a 4th round. He submits Pantoja, you know what I mean, type deal. But I don't think the judges will be needed in this fight. But Pantoja submission, 3rd round. But moving on to the main event of the evening, the Alexander the Great. He only got 2 questions at the presser. That's how lame that whack ass presser was against.
I didn't watch it, so.
Unifying the belts, Jair Rodriguez, absolute savage, just total killer. Last time we seen him against Josh Emmett, that was his only submission of his career, and he made easy work of Josh Emmett. Went for the kill, fucking those leg kicks, those body kicks, absolutely nasty. He's unpredictable, man, and Volkanovski's a little short dude, you know what I mean? He could get caught with a head kick.
How's he going to handle those kicks, though? You know what I mean? Like, how's Volk going to handle those kicks? That's the big question. Because those kicks are not going to be fun at all.
Yeah, especially if it's the body kicks too, man. Because we've seen Yair in dogfights too, like when he fought Max. Like that's when Yair, like I've been a fan of him, since he was training at Jackson Wink. Like a lot of like the media have been talking about the old Jackson Wink days, but Yair's had an amazing journey to where he's got to now. I remember when he fought Frankie Edgar just like stacked him up and broke his orbital bone, and I remember he said that since that day he would never allow that to happen. And since then, he has been a total stud. And the fight with Josh Emmett just kind of was like, Yair's here to stay. And he's been through a lot, man. Like, his journey is amazing. And him beating the pound-for-pound king, Volkanovski, geez, man, like, unbelievable.
He's got some confidence going in, too, though. Like, he said that he's going to knock out Volk, and then he's going to go up and beat Islam. So it's like, that's some confidence. It's like, it's hard to, go against that. It's like, damn, even I'm almost convinced.
With that confidence, though, Rudy, though, you think that Volkanovski's still that guy that's just like takedowns, right? I think
he's still that guy. I think he beat Islam, bro. He's a minus 435 heavy favorite, plus 325 underdog for Yair Rodriguez. I think Volk, walks away with it, decision win. I love Yair Rodriguez, but Volk is on another level, bro. That dude is just insane.
Yeah, it's lots of pressure on both fighters, but I think they both, like Volk is it's like another day at the office, man. He's always on the big stage. Most of the time he fights guys, he makes them super uncomfortable and makes them know that it's going to be a war and he's not going anywhere. Like, look at the fight with T-City. Anybody else in the world was tapped to that fucking, the rear naked choke there.
Oh, yeah.
But Yair's fight, like I referred with Max Holloway, like that was legit, man. Like I thought he almost won the fight, and I know they were both fucked up. You know what I mean? So Yair's down to go to war, and he's got that experience. So both one of the best to ever do it. This is very proper, like in the time of their careers, because it's like Yair's talking moving weight classes. So is Volk. We'll see, man. But I have a feeling I have a feeling this is going to be the first of like. 2 fights, 3 fights. Both these guys will see each other again.
No, for sure.
My pick is Alexander Volkanovski, baby. Yep. when you hear the down under, the speakers, the final walkout, well, it's going to be epic too to hear. What's the song that Yair walks out to? The Mexican song, but it'll be epic. There's a lot of Mexican people in Vegas, so they're going to be. Say Moreno wins and Yair wins, like, oh, they'll blow the top off T-Mobile, but nothing like the Conor days. But still, the Mexicans are definitely out there representing, you know. But I have a feeling Pantoja silences the crowd, and then Volk goes out there and just, I don't know, man. I'm picking against the Mexicans. I'm racist, I guess, right? But yeah, no, it's an epic night of fights. International Fight Week does have, I don't know, it's not the feeling that it once was. Like, we're missing, like, Conor prancing around, like, throwing money, or I don't know what we're missing, but the presser sucked ass. But I know these fights are truly, like, you know, necessary for all the fighters that are on the card at the point in their career. Up-and-comers, killers like Bo Nickel, Robert Whittaker, DDP, high stakes. So history will be made, boys, just like how it's always been. Like, I mean, I always call it history's going to be made. But Volk and Steel. Wait, Robert just messaged in the chat. Well, Robert ain't making
Volk's going to take the decision. It's going to be a long war of a fight, and I feel like Yair's going to have the first 2 rounds, and then Volk's just going to take over for the next 3.
Man,
I feel like he's going to rock Volk early, though. He's gonna catch him with those kicks, and Volk's going to feel it, but Volk's going to overcome them, and he's going to fucking just bam, get him. But it's going to be a great 5-round fight. We're going to be entertained.
Well, that should do it for episode number 179. Robert, unfortunately, wasn't able to join us. Emmett, well, it's 3-4 in the morning for Emmett, so we'll catch you next time, brother. But it's been a fun show, some epic fights, some great chat on a Thursday night. For all the latest combat sports news around the world, around the clock, go to FightbookMMA.com. Shout out to anybody that's watching and or listening live. Wherever you get your podcasts, look us up, Sitting Ringside, Fightbook MMA, for all our previous episodes and audio platform. Check us out there. Social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us there. Like, subscribe, share, hit us up. As always, myself, Dave Rodriguez, Roberto El Jefe, we missed you tonight. Rudy Lara, producer at hand. Mark Ambu up north. We are Sitting Ringside, episode 179. We out. Enjoy the fights. History will be made. What did Berto say? Rudy.